I discovered not to trust people that say they're good. I've discovered this. I think people are too obsessed with the idea, the fabrication of being a good person. I think that's what happens in their brain, their mind. They think to themselves, wait a second, am I good enough? Am I a good person? How do I do this? How do I become great? I gotta return that shopping cart. I gotta say bless you after somebody sneezes. You're too obsessed with social contracts. You see these social contracts inside of your mind, inside of your brain. You say to yourself, man, I maybe perhaps need to be a good person. But what does it mean to be good to you? Does it mean donating to every charity? Does it mean going to church every Wednesday and Sunday for Bible study and to go on a congregation and sing in the church with all your heart and soul? Does it mean devoting your life to God? What does it mean to be good? Oh, I need a guide. And that's why some people follow the Bible. Some people look at the Bible as a guide of how to exist and how to live their entire life. This is what I must do. This will make life a lot better. This right here, the book, the holy book. And some people want other people to be good too. So they push that religious practicing on other people. Or maybe you don't have any religious backing. You just think being good is not harming anybody, not messing with anybody. But you still have your reservations, and you may have evil thoughts inside of your brain. And you say to yourself, oh, I shouldn't have thought that. Oh, I shouldn't say this. Oh, I got to be politically correct. Oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. Oh, I got to respect this person. But what does it mean to be good? It doesn't exist in nature, truly. Is a lion evil for eating an elk? No, it's not. It's hungry. Is a frog evil for eating a bug? No, it's hungry. Are ants evil for going to war? No, they need to progress. They revolutionize. That's what happens. They take over other colonies. Nature does not rely on good or evil. Is a hurricane good or bad? Well, if it's just in the middle of the desert, a hurricane doesn't really matter. It's just a sandstorm. It doesn't hurt anybody, so it's not bad. No, you're applying context to things. Context is very important for humans. It's the most important thing on the planet. It's what we rely on deeply. We need context to a bad situation. We need context for how things go. For instance, no single action on the planet is really bad unless you add context. Let's say I shot a gun. Boom. All right, I just shot a gun. Well, I shot it at a pineapple. All right, I shot at the pineapple. Well, I shot it at a guy. Whoa, now it's bad. You added context to the action. The action in itself is the bad thing. You can add different things to actions. For instance, murder. Bad, right? Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. What if you're murdering an ant? Boom. Ah, that doesn't count. I just killed an ant. That doesn't really count. Okay, cool. You add context to it. But murder in itself is not the action. The action is what happens within the murder. Stepping is not bad. Boom. The ant is fine. There is no ant. You're just stepping. It doesn't exist. You stabbing a knife forward. Stab, the action, not a bad thing. You see, if you take away the context of things, humans don't know what to do. And that's okay, because that's the realness of reality. The raw, bare truth of reality is that nature functions on that action. Tornadoes, for instance, go through. The scientific explanation of tornadoes is just the culmination of winds going to and fro to a single point, a singularity, and it creates a tornado. But the tornado happens and nobody gets hurt. Just the dust gets picked up, and it's a random tornado, maybe in the middle of the sea. Nobody gets hurt. The tornado is not viewed as catastrophic or evil or anything in that variety. On Jupiter, there's hundreds of tornadoes going on right now, harming no one. Endless tornado. And guess what? Nobody's hurt. But if a tornado passes through, some people consider that an act of God. Maybe that's karma for that village. Who knows what it is? Oh, a flood came through, but it didn't hit this one house. That house is holy. You're adding context to it because humans have a deep sense of self-importance and they rely on goodness. This is the issue with being good. There's a big issue with being good. It makes you feel bad if you don't align with every single thing that goodness entails. If you don't do everything good in your life, you feel like a piece of garbage. Oh man, I misgendered that person. Damn it. I didn't go to church Sunday. Damn it. Oh, wait a second. I struck my kid, but I told myself I would never hit my kids like my parents hit me. Godly. Man. I don't feel like a good person because I'm not taking care of myself. I didn't eat breakfast. I didn't check up on my mother. I didn't do this. I didn't do that. You are too obsessed with being good. It doesn't mean anything. The only thing you should really concern yourself with is kindness. And I'm not talking about that fake kindness where it's considered niceness, because there's a big difference between being nice and being kind. Being nice is as if somebody asked me, hey, do you think I'm fat? And I said, oh, well, I don't think you're fat. I just think, you're beautiful in your own way. That's niceness. That's politeness. That's messed up. Kindness is if somebody asked me that very same question and I proceeded to say, we can go to the gym if you want. I do think you're bigger, yeah. That is a correct observation. It is not demeaning them or insulting them or saying words to mitigate the blows or damage of the rawness of reality. You can approach things in a more subtle way, less harsh, for sure. You can do that. You don't have to say, well, I'm an asshole because I tell the truth. You're a piece of shit. You're just a piece of shit and you want to make people feel bad is what you are. That's okay. If you just want to make people feel bad, don't hide behind the fact that I'm just telling the truth is all. No, you're just being a bad person. If somebody said, I'm crying and I feel bad, and you said, well, being an adult is hard and you're supposed to cry, but you can't cry. You got to suck it up and deal with it. Tie up your bootstraps. That's the reality of life. That's you being mean. But instead you said, you have to deal with yourself one of these days. You have to learn to deal with yourself. You have to learn to be here for this reality. Life isn't going to hold your hand. And it's a shame you're crying. I apologize for your crying. I really do. And even though it's not my fault, even though I can't help right now, but you got to help yourself. Maybe you need some help. I can't help you, but somebody will. Because you can't put yourself into every bad situation. You can feel bad about a situation. You can feel bad you can't help. You can feel bad you don't donate. You can feel bad that you still eat at McDonald's. You can feel bad that you still go to Starbucks. You can feel bad that you're not doing enough for the war that's going on right now. I'm not doing enough. I'm not doing enough. I'm not being a good enough activist. I'm not doing all I can. You're doing all you can because you've decided this is what you can do. You're doing all you can because this is what you decided. This is all you can do. That's the important part. If this is all you can do, if this is what you can muster, if this is the strength you can feel inside of your gut, inside of your belly, you've done all you can. And you should never feel bad for doing everything humanly possible because you are human and you need a break. Everybody needs a break. Everybody needs a second to step back and realize what they're looking out on the good horizon and realize they can't touch the sun all the time. You can't do that. You can't be the beacon of light for everybody. You can't support everybody in your family. You can't make sure your mom is good. You can't make sure your dog has enough food sometimes. You can't go into work today. You can't feel how it feels, how another person feels sad, and you can't make them feel better. It's okay to not do everything all the time. It's okay to take a rest day. You're not a bad person because you took a break. You're not a bad person because you didn't do enough activism. You are not a bad person. Period. You're a person. You're human. You make mistakes. And just because you fail doesn't mean you're a failure. When you give up completely, that is when you're a failure. When you completely give up, when you see no way out, when you don't do anything ever again, that is when you are deemed a failure. But until then, until you actively say to yourself, I genuinely can't do this, I have no ability, until you actively look at yourself, look down at what you created, what you've done, and say, okay, I can't do it. That is when you are a failure. That is when. But if you're still trying, if you're still getting up every day, if you still take that break, if you're doom scrolling at 2 o'clock, if you miss work, but still go to work, and still explain why you missed work, you have failed, but you are not a failure. The action in itself doesn't make you the thing. You can have narcissistic traits, but not be a narcissist. You can fail and not be a failure. You can do carpentry, but not be a carpenter. Same process. You can do the action and not be the thing itself. It's okay. You are not trash because you are acting trashy. You know what I mean? You get it? You understand what I'm saying? We're picking up, we're putting down. I'm putting down something. Hopefully you're picking it up because you got to clean your dishes and do your laundry. You haven't done that. Put your laundry away. I know it's tough. I know you're depressed. You don't feel like it. But you'll feel better when you do it. I know what you're going to say. I have ADHD. I have this. I have that. I don't care. I'm just going to keep it a being with you. I'm not asking for your excuses. I'm not asking for your reasons. I'm not asking for anything. It makes it harder to do so. It sure does, doesn't it? But you still got to do it. You can wait until you feel like doing it, but you gotta do it. You are allowed to wait. You're allowed to. You can wait. You can wait. Nobody is rushing you. And if life is rushing you, Tell life to calm down. Impose your will upon it. And if life can't calm down for you, then try harder. And if you're trying your best, then do better. And it sucks to hear that. It really does. But if you're trying your best, do better. Because that is good. That is what goodness is. When you can't, you must. Be kind to yourself, because the world is not going to. It never will. It never has.